Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of March 19th. We have a patch day, patch 10.2.6. But first, we are going to get started with the Mythic Plus affixes before we talk more about that. This week we have Fortified, Storming, and Bursting. Again, that's Fortified, Storming, and Bursting. Again, fairly easy week here. Storming, Bursting, Bursting is going to take you out on the big dungeon, same as always, right? We're just in repeats at this point in the season. But Bursting is going to take you out in the big giant pulls, with a pug group. And, a really experienced group is going to have like a priest or something to mass dispel it off, and it's just going to be fine. But it's a very, very simple week overall for doing keys. Let's go ahead and talk about just a couple things quick before we just kind of dive in on the patch talk, okay? So we do have the Trial of Style this entire week. Wednesday till Tuesday, and Trial of Style. If you don't know, if you've never done it, you just go in there. They give you a theme, and you make a transmog, or you use a transmog that you already have that fits that theme, and then you get judged or whatever, and you get tokens, and then you can buy transmog items with those tokens and stuff like that. So it's actually very very cool, especially the first couple times you ever do it, especially if you like collecting things, or just winning in general or whatever. So it can be kind of cool. I do hope they expand upon it. This is one of the things, this is probably the second biggest thing I want them to expand upon after the Darkmoon Fair, because I think a lot of people like doing transmog. The sweaty, not everybody obviously, but some of the sweatiest raiders like doing transmog. Our peers like doing transmog. Some BG or arena players like doing transmog. I think it's something that a lot of the community likes to do, and I think they could really dive into that more personally. You also have a couple days left to do the Hearthstone event. After they made some fixes and changes to it, they added a couple more days to it for the people, basically to make up for the first couple days. People having some bad experiences and stuff like that. I had no bad experiences personally. I killed the boss a few times, like 10 times or something. I think I got everything that I wanted, but I got like the mount, I got the Hearthstone toy. So I was pretty happy with it personally, but it is what it is. The only other thing worth talking about this week is the Battleground bonus event. If you are farming Battlegrounds for whatever reason, or for honor, for prestige, whatever you are doing it for, that is the event this week. On that note, let's go ahead and talk about the patch that's coming out today. So I haven't talked much about this patch. It's a surprise. It hasn't been tested at all. Hasn't been anything like that at all. Just some hints with some pirate flags and stuff like that. And I think that people are on the right track with that. So I'm going to give my own theory of what this patch is about, okay? So back in November, it was data mined that there was a Vampire Survivors game mode added to World of Warcraft for patch 10.2.5. Now, obviously, 10.2.5 is going to be over later today, Tuesday, whatever, and we haven't seen that yet. However, I think they turned it into 10.2.6, its own little patch. And what I think this is going to be, personally, and again, I'm just putting this out there in case I'm right. Obviously, if I'm right, I get to like go back and like be like, hey, I'm a genius. But what I think it's going to be is something like Freehold, maybe Siege of Borealis, maybe both. And you go in, and instead of doing the dungeon, I'm guessing you can queue 1 to 5 players. It's going to, imagine Torghast, right? But you're in Freehold, or you're in Siege of Borealis, you're in something like that, right? And as you go in, instead of you pulling the mobs are going to start coming to you. If you've never played Vampire Survivors, it's a single player rogue game where you have a character. There's lots of different characters to choose from. They have different powers. You kill them, you get, it's like a roguelike, whatever game. I don't even know. I don't play them very much, but I have played Vampire Survivors. And you get power-ups as you go through and do it. And I think that's what it's going to be, but in a WoW dungeon. So I think the mobs are going to start coming at you first with, of course, really weak mobs that you're going to be able to kill. Get a few power-ups, like in Torghast. You probably have to click on like an anima cell looking thing. Maybe it'll have a pirate flag or something. You'll click on that, get a power, get stronger as you go. If you complete the dungeon and kill the final boss, you'll probably have a chance to get some cool mount or some cool reward or something like that, would be my guess. And maybe it'll have a leaderboard, maybe it'll be ranked. I doubt it, the way that they've done things in the past. But I do think it has the potential to be cool if my theory is correct. I think that would be really, really neat because it would take all the good aspects of Torghast. Now in Torghast, you're pulling it yourself, right? It's not coming at you. But it would take all the good aspects of Torghast and not really have any of the bad aspects of Torghast. And so that's kind of what I think. It's going to be a merger of Torghast with like a Vampire Survivors game. That's my theory of what this is going to be today. I could very well, of course, be wrong. It could be much lamer than what my idea is. Maybe they should listen to my idea if it's not what they do. But that would be a really, really cool way to have some fun content in the game. As if they like remake dungeons to be able to be played in this way. I think that would be really sweet. And, you know, I'm probably too ambitious in my thinking there, but I think that would be cool if that ends up being correct on what it is. So, yeah. We will see later today. I will do a video on whatever this new patch is about when it goes live. If I'm correct, I'll be doing victory laps, and if I'm not, I'll just be covering it without mentioning my wrong theory here. So that's it for this one, though. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel because it helps me out so much. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.